Have you ever wondered what goes into creating a prosthetic limb for an amputee? Well, News 8 photographer John Schmidt did, and he takes us along to find out in this week's eyepiece.
I always had, and I expect I wasn't too much different than the population, this thought of you lose a limb, you go to a lab or a hospital, they strap one on and you say goodbye, good luck. There's so much involved and there's so much to learn. Like after the Boston bombing, the follow-up stories, you'd see somebody walking out of a prosthetic lab, walking just normally. You don't realize all the hours and the work that went in, and the fact that you will always, the rest of your life, have a relationship with the prosthetist. It isn't something you put on and you go on through life. It'll be a constant issue. Some people more, others less.
Every single patient's different. That time frame from their first fitting with their first prosthesis, diagnostic prosthesis, to their final laminated can be as short as 2 weeks. But then also, more often than not, you work with them for weeks upon months to get the socket fit perfectly. And then you can go to a laminated prosthesis.
One thing I didn't know going into all this is that I had 3, if not 4 of these having to be made over the period of the next year as the limb changes. It shrinks, it changes shape. And because it's under the conventional, this is a pressure system rather than vacuum. It's held on by physical pressure. Well, as your limb changes, the pressure points change, and the worst thing you can do is to develop a sore spot, because then you can't wear it. So you have to change as you go, and then when things stabilize, hopefully you can then wear the prosthesis for an extended period of time. That is the biggest issue, and where I try to help other amputees is when I visit with them is what to expect. I'm not there as a role model or anything, but my issue was when I was going through rehab and just getting my health back, is I didn't know what to expect. I had to make decisions on what type of apparatus I wanted without having any time to think about it or even knowing what the options were out there. That's where a great prosthetist working with you can really be a great asset. In going through and getting to the point where I could wear one and walk on it and get around, I spent 3-4 months in a wheelchair. Well, I really learned the value of the American with Disabilities Act, trying to get around on a wheelchair. But that would be my life if I didn't have this.
And roll up that silicone sleeve. Sounds good? All right.
Good. You do good work.
I will say this, this is from my heart. There hasn't been a day gone by where I haven't appreciated what I still have. I don't dwell on what I lost.